If you've been following my story, you know I grew up in Las Vegas, living life on the edge. I made mistakes, I got into trouble, and my rebellious years caught up with me. I graduated high school, started working, and for the first time, things seemed normal. But deep down, I was still lost, still living in sin, and I didn't know how close I was to losing everything. This is the story of my first deportation and how God's hand was already at work, even when I didn't realize it. Life was starting to feel normal. I was working as an electrician, picking up side jobs, trying to build something for myself. I felt like maybe, just maybe, I could stay out of trouble. But my past had a way of catching up with me, and I didn't even see it coming. Because of the life I lived, being part of the gang, running with my crew, always needing to protect myself, I got a gun. That gun would become the reason my life started falling apart. On January 2015, I was driving with friends, drinking, speeding. I passed a police car at a traffic light, and that's when everything changed. The red and blue lights flashed behind me. My heart dropped. I knew, in that moment, that my life was about to change forever. The officers told me they needed to search the car because of open containers. I felt my stomach drop, and then they found the gun under the passenger seat. I was terrified. I had been living in the US illegally since I was 3, and now I could actually be deported. I knew friends my age who had just been sent back to Mexico. I felt panic, fear, anger. I didn't know how this could happen to me. Spiritually, I wasn't in a good place. Every time I got locked up, I would cry out to God, but it was superficial. I wasn't asking for forgiveness. I wasn't seeking Him. I was scared for myself. I didn't want the consequences of my actions. That night, as I sat in the holding cell, I prayed again. Not from the heart, but from fear. I just wanted to survive. I was charged with possession of stolen property. Because I had DACA at the time, I wasn't deported immediately, but the ICE officer told me, "If I see you again, you'll be deported." That fear stuck with me. After a week of being in county, I was released. But I had to continue going to court dates to be sentenced. I stayed out of trouble for a while, but eventually, mistakes happened again. After a year of going to court dates, I was sentenced on February 2016. My prison sentence was suspended, and I was placed on probation. I violated probation over minor things, a photo with Brooke after curfew, among other violations. I was locked up on March 2016 and sentenced to a program called PRD, a military-style boot camp. 6 months of intense physical and mental discipline. I worked hard, hoping it would be enough to get out, but when the time came, I was transferred to ICE custody. That was in October 2016. My heart sank. I knew what was coming. On November 2016, after months of uncertainty, I was finally told I would be deported. I packed my things, got on a bus, and was taken to the airport. I couldn't believe it. I had lived my entire life in Las Vegas. Now I was being sent back to a country I barely remembered. The plane landed. I was driven to the Tijuana border. Through a back area, past officers, I walked into a new reality. They gave me a temporary ID and allowed me to make a phone call. I called my mom. I was alive, but lost. I didn't know where to go, what to do, or how to survive. I was scared, alone, and broken. And yet, even in that fear, I can see now that God was working behind the scenes. He hadn't saved me yet, but He was already preparing me for what was to come. He was already shaping my story, even when I couldn't see it. I didn't know it then, but this wasn't the end. God had a plan. And even though I was in a place that felt foreign, even though everything I knew was gone, hope remained. Hope that one day I would be saved, that one day my life would be transformed. And that story continues. If you've experienced deportation or immigration struggles and want to share your testimony, I'd love to hear from you. Your story matters, and it could inspire hope for so many others. Just click the link in the description to submit your story through our form. Whether you stay anonymous or use your name, every story has the power to make a difference.